Daddy. I'd be so happy, you know. But I really don't play many.
Oh, he is.
First, when I had my S4.
But we're doing this program for
now. I really don't play many games on my phone.
Next,
it's like I kind of went back in time. You know, I leave my video games to my consoles.
Like marijuana.
Marijuana, which is going to be a big thing.
And if I
That's a good topic to talk about.
You know, people think I'm a fossil. I'm carrying around an actual book and not a Kindle or something. It's like, oh, that's ancient. I'm like, well, it's a book. Yeah, but I got me. See, I able to do this. I'm like, yeah, but when the battery runs out, it won't.
So the first conversation is marijuana.
Oh.
So,
good old ganja.
Alternative medicine. What do you guys think if we have a push for the veterans to have medicinal marijuana?
It shouldn't just be for the veterans anyways.
Well, that's one of many venues we can go to, but what if I said, at the moment we're pushing for the veteran community?
The medicinal? Well, I think that a lot of its uses could replace a lot of medicines that doctors are giving us. You know, me being on disability and some of the medicines that the doctors saying you should take this, you should take that, this is going to help you, that's going to help you. Whereas at one point in time when I was smoking, you know, they call it self-medicating, but I'm like, but it was functioning and I didn't have to worry about the side effects of the antidepressants that they were giving me, or have to worry about taking a medicine to help me sleep, or this medicine that helped me sleep wasn't working, or having to take nightmare medicines. That happens on a cocktail. Yeah, because when it came down to that, I said, no, I'm not taking all that, I'm going to smoke. You know, but then the downside is you want to work, you want to have a job, and then when you want to work and have a job, and they're like, no, you got to take a drug test, but you know that this is your medication as an alternative to what the doctors are giving you, and the doctors know it works.
James, since you're an individual that looks like they use marijuana, what would you say? What's your opinion on it?
He wasn't trying to hold no punches.
It's just a question.
It's not just a question, that was a statement.
He wasn't trying to profile you. No, there's no racial profile.
Would you mind sitting down so I don't have to do that again?
Singled you out.
You could have just said, hey James, you want to join the discussion?
I'd have gladly told you no, that's not a discussion for me. What was the question?
So the question is, obviously we want to push for marijuana to be open because we all know it's being used, period. We all know that. And I think personally that the heroin epidemic, we all know that it's coming from a certain demographic, it's coming from a certain, you know, a lot of things. You know, we all know how it's being filtered down the police, and it's an issue, period. I'm not trying to say anything, but, so for us specifically, what I'm trying to do is for at least for the veteran situation, medicinal marijuana. James, what's your opinion on this matter?
Medicinal marijuana?
Medicinal marijuana.
I'm all for it. If that's what makes people feel better, it's natural, it goes out of the earth. You ain't got to worry about real side effects other than eating out your whole damn refrigerator. I'm good for it. That's
Only
it.
with certain types.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't never heard anybody getting a marijuana DUI. Nobody crashing in the...
Or overdose.
You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it.
Well, just because we don't hear it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Oh,
that has never happened.
No, now, understand that. Maybe
You get high and wake up in jail and they're like, what happened? You robbed the grocery store. That's about it.
I may be the only one here because I was a good Marine, but I never touched marijuana. So I don't know the effects of it.
So you touched everything else.
I would say you like one of them. Oh, okay.
So you just went with the drugs that got out your system in a couple of days instead of one that stays in the 30 days.
Camera again.
Okay, I got you.
Are you saying that for the people that are know of it but may have not used it, are you guys saying that it would be impossible for you to get a DUI from smoking marijuana?
That's drinking while intoxicated.
Well, I understand that part, but the
But
effects
it's
of
driving
marijuana.
while under the influence.
So,
That too.
are you saying that you wouldn't be in a car crash if you're smoking marijuana?
You could be in a car crash eating a cheeseburger.
Yeah. Or playing on your cell phone.
No, he's
But
got.
what I'm saying is, like, if you're smoking, you're not gonna be like, oh man.
No, it's not. No, it's
It
not
ain't like that.
It's not like that. It affects people differently. You get some people that have different reactions, but
It's not hallucinogenic. You
yeah,
won't
it's
see
not.
any-
It's not like a hallucinogenic.
You
Like
won't see any ponies
acid or
running by in
something.
front of your eyes.
Yeah.
All right, so
Unless the
now,
actual
to be in the devil advocate, and that's what my job,
Devils.
the devil's advocate is. So let's say we start with the medicinal marijuana for veterans, and then we open it for the general public.
Medicinal marijuana, I've seen it. It's sold in Hunts Point in the Bronx.
Yes.
It's already legal.
So Farmer Care is, or something like that. Pharmacist or Farmer Cannabis is one of the organizations that I work with to try to push it for veterans.
Really?
So what I'm trying to bring out right now is, what if we say, but it only covers like 6 different illnesses, and they're severe things. They're not
Like
cancer.
depression.
Is one of them?
Like,
No, I don't
Is it
believe so.
depression?
Anxiety?
I can't answer all the questions. Let me get back.
Oh,
Wait, but it's also.
Let me just say, I know.
It's not the smoking, it's only the tinctures and I think an oil that they allow, so
Yes.
it's not fully legal in New York State yet.
What I can tell you is there's more than one dispensary in the Bronx. And they have oils, they have pipes, and they have different methods of it. It depends on the disease, but it's a small amount of these, maybe like 8 diseases that only qualify, and they're the most severe. Let's say we start pushing it more for the veteran community outside of just those diseases. Let's say PTSD. If it's not covered at the moment, let's say that we do push it for PTSD. Then we're going to start pushing for the general population. Then we're going to start pushing for the general population for anything. Like in California, Colorado, you have
Seattle, Washington is legal over there.
you get a bump on the feet, you be like, oh man, I need marijuana. And
Actually, in California, you actually can grow marijuana for your personal
It's
use.
like that in
but
Seattle,
at a
too.
state level, you can't.
No, at a state level, you can have 3 marijuana trees as long as they're not over 3 foot high, and you have to.
It's like that. It's like that in Seattle. I was living over there. It's like that too.
Only reason I know is I got a lot of pocket
Yeah,
friends. I ain't never been to California, but
Yet. So this is where my big jump is. If we keep on pushing, eventually we're just going to be like, hey, just give it to everybody, right? So now if we get marijuana on the table, what about if we start pushing for other drugs?
No, what I think it is, it's more to lower the decriminalization of marijuana compared to cocaine, heroin, and a lot of them, all the strong drugs. Whereas the maximum penalty everybody's getting, I mean, they just lowered it in New York, but you're getting locked up 5-6 years just for smoking a little bud, carrying a certain amount, and it's like you're not going out there, stabbing anybody up and robbing your next door neighbor just to get that next hit. It's not like that.
Yeah, marijuana's not like that.
It's not like that.
But so if we start getting marijuana as the norm, where do we stop? Like what if we do
Stop
the
right
next
there.
Stop right there.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Because the other
it's
stuff
a
is
No,
year.
because the other stuff,
It's taking
it'll kill
years
you.
for marijuana. It's taking years for marijuana to get to this level.
you know why? It's the pharmaceutical companies.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
if you can actually grow your own product that's going to naturally benefit you, where I can't tax it, I can't make no profit off it, of course I'm going to stop it, because at the end of the day, I'm paying 1, 2, and 3 to make drugs for the same thing that you're treating yourself with your own personal use.
Yes.
She's going to charge me, she's going to charge me, he's going to charge me, the government's going to tax me, so therefore it's a whole money scheme. But if you're able to grow your own, why do you think I want to say, let's put it a nice way, the government don't like people that come up with cures, or people
Without
that,
them knowing about it.
or that won't sell it to them, or sell them a blueprint to any kind of cure or any kind of treatment, because the government can't profit off of it.
Yes.
Because what you have it, by you doing it, if the government says, well, I want to give this to you, and you say, nah, I'm good, I'm going to mass produce this and help people, I guarantee you're going to have some kind of illness, or you're just going to disappear, along with whatever else you have.
Now, the other drugs that you talked about, those are synthetic. synthetic drugs take a lot to make, and people die off of those. They fall in a different category than marijuana does. Nobody's ever died of smoking a joint or putting it in a pipe and smoking it from there. The other ones will kill you.
Well, I mean, you said people react differently to it.
Yeah.
I mean, are we saying that nobody's ever taken one of those huge bags and just smoked it straight on and then just passed out and died?
No.
No, there's nothing
No.
that's been recorded, so you could ask those questions, but there's no studies or anything that's been recorded, then what are you going to
Marijuana is
say?
a downer.
And it's definitely a downer. It could be so a little bit of an upper too, but it's not. It's not something that you can say, okay, I'm gonna smoke this whole thing and end up 6 feet under now.
You can only get so high off of marijuana.
Yeah, you get
can't
so high, you get sober.
All right, so now I'm gonna
I've seen it happen. It's funny.
I'm gonna represent the doctors for a minute. You know, right now there's a lot of people that have a certain level of, you know, because to prescribe hard drugs, you need a special degree or a special certificate.
Right.
Not every doctor can prescribe the higher level drugs. What level do you think we should be able to prescribe it if it comes to the point where we're trying to help?
I think if you're able to naturally grow it, it should be free.
So now you're saying out of the hands of the doctors as well?
No. You know what I think it should be? I think this is what I think it should be. I think you should. If you want to get it in onto a medical perspective, the doctor should take up botany.
I want to be able to log out from my
You know,
phone.
learn that skill on plants and genetics, on understanding the plant and the effects of plants. That should be a skill. It should be.
Well, they do have that.
Well, yeah, but it's like to make it like a.
Yeah, it's not mandatory.
Yeah, you know, it should be like a mandatory thing. Like, what was your skill? Botany.
Native American people have been smoking and natural cures for all their lives.
Cataracts and.
The only thing they couldn't cure with weed was smallpox.
Well, I mean, now you guys are trying to sound like hippies.
Well, it's not trying to sound like a hippie, but
They
unless
do have
you've
a
actually smoked it or have actually experienced what it does to you or what it's done to people around you, or you really won't know.
It doesn't make you go steal from your mom.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It doesn't make you steal from a grocery store. It doesn't make you steal.
It just makes you really hungry, sleepy, happy.
It's not that serious.
I mean, when you really think about it, 90% of anything that has great come out of America or anywhere else, that person has been under the influence of some kind of marijuana.
Touche.
It opens up a whole new level of thinking to, you know, I believe it's even recorded that Albert Einstein was a pothead.
See, now you guys are generalizing a small fraction compared to the larger numbers that are out there. And I'm only saying...
But it's the small fraction that controls America.
So, how can we make it legal?
To make it legal, doing studies on the effects.
The studies are already there.
No,
You just
no,
gotta
you gotta-
present it out
but-
more instead of making it illegal to even smoke it or have it or be using it. Show the benefits of it, why it exists, but
But you
also
always gonna have
focus on
somebody
the
that's gonna
person's
counter
disability this can have help
that.
to
You
counter
always got
any.
somebody that's going to counter the benefits. You're always going to have this doctor with a double PhD and the doctor that's saying with the perfect facts and saying that, no, you're wrong. And he's going to look at you like, no, I have all this, you're wrong. You're always going to have that conflict.
So it's even with synthetic drugs, you have
Yeah,
that conflict
you're always
too.
going to have that conflict. So trying to make it legal,
You just got to find a way to make it profitable.
you putting a petition out there.
Well, it's not only that, it's also because even with studies, medical studies themselves, there's a lot of questions since the doctors have pretty much been given all this money benefits, vacation, which are seminars by the pharmaceutical companies to support their drug. It's not that simple. But if you're talking about getting it legalized in New York, more people need to be
in on it.
Basically, more people need to petition it.
Yeah.
They need to figure out, obviously, a way improperly to benefit the state as well.
Yeah,
Taxes.
that's good.
People figure out how to sell weed like they sell cigarettes.
Yeah.
Well,
Giving the
We've already
government
been doing that. We had Buddha spots back in the days.
The reason
So
that
now big companies, now the government put it all so that we have dispensaries, which we used to call Buddha spots, but now they're dispensaries.
The reason I bring it up is because we all know, and you hit right on it, we all know that the global warming thing it's a farce, okay? Because there's studies that show that it's not going to happen.
And it happened.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is maybe these results of marijuana are just fake.
Then everything's fake.
That's true.
I mean, people have been cured with a sugar pill.
That's
Yeah,
it's all up here.
Mhm.
Yeah. You got functioning marijuana addicts, and you wouldn't even know that they was on pot until they actually came out and told you.
Or you smell them.
No.
The same thing
No.
actually with alcoholics, though. Too.
Yeah.
You have some functioning
You got
alcoholics.
some people that function, and you wouldn't even know whether you smell. It's not until you take a test where you're like, oh, you smoke. But how would you know unless you actually take a test?
But see,
Take
the
a test
difference,
and your urine comes out green and you know you got a problem.
the difference is, though, is that you have a functioning alcoholic, but how many people have died from alcohol
Yeah.
poisoning, and then how many people have died from smoking weed?
Yeah. Like you would need somebody to actually go out there, do that research, and try to find out how many people. Just go out there and find out how
What's
many
the
people
corner?
Yeah, fine.
actually.
Then I'm gonna have to start smoking
Yeah.
weed.
I was just thinking the same
I'm gonna get a
thing before.
large
Try it one
amount,
time.
and
Don't start off with a
No,
large
don't
amount. What
do a
you do
large
is you
amount.
start off with half of one.
Don't even roll it, just get yourself a little pipe.
That's it. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
check-
it.
I'm
Keep
gonna
it
check-
classic.
Yeah.
Keep it classic.
Yeah.
Just pack
I'm gonna
your
check with the
pipe.
commandant, and I'm gonna send him a message and be like, look, could you tell the president to give me a waiver for this?
See,
Okay?
I don't smoke weed because I like to be employed.
Experimental purposes.
So the basic concession in this table right here
Or you could
is
just visit Colorado.
that you people,
Colorado.
you people here,
People now.
you people
Oh,
here,
see? Not you people.
and her over there
Staying off in the cut, girl.
are in agreement with making medicinal
Yes, I agree.
marijuana more.
No, they should just make all.
Open?
I think they should just make weed legal.
Yeah,
just make it legal
yeah.
already. That's
Yeah.
it. Just do
Yeah.
The only thing that happens
They
with
go
weed
around burning
is
big
idiots.
stashes and stuff. It's
And
like,
It's
then-
idiots.
oh my goodness.
They want to
Probably
fight
gonna be like,
over where to sell it. So
they be getting in contact, how it'd be
They're like, yeah,
hilarious.
we're burning for evidence.
Yes. You burn all that, that's a waste.
Well,
Killing
thank you everyone
trees.
for joining me. I appreciate it so much. And
Wait, so what did that have to do with global warming?
well, you can say that all these things are happening, right? You can show people proof the ice melting, the weather changing, and then there's going to be people that say, look, the study that we have right here, it's a farce. It's not happening. The marijuana stuff, how do we push it out to the elected officials? How do we push it out to the doctors?
Taxing.
I understand that.
You gotta show them the
The elected
benefits, how it's
officials
gonna
got to
benefit
weed
them.
man too.
Yeah, you gotta
Show
say
how it's gonna
people
benefit
will
them.
vote for you if you legalize weed. People
Yeah.
will, you'll be able to
You'll be
tax
like the
people.
damn czar of the world if you make it legal.
Well, to come out straight out here, I believe in
Take over
marijuana
the world.
becoming. I believe it becoming normal because in the end of the day, we have bigger fights to battle, which is the marijuana, the heroin, and crack, and all the rest.
It's dangerous.
You know,
Those
another
just
thing
kill
is,
people, yeah.
sooner or later, eventually, everybody, I mean, not everybody, but you're gonna have like 80% of people that's not tried it, that's gonna try it at least once, or haven't tried it at least once. You know, they're gonna have their good or bad experience. You're gonna have some that continue, you're gonna have some that's gonna stop. But sooner or later, like we try to prevent our children from smoking, but if once they get older, they might even try it
It's
themselves.
the same thing with drinking.
Yeah,
You
same
can
thing
prevent
with
them,
drinks.
but ultimately,
But
they're
sooner or
probably
later,
gonna
they're
at
gonna
least try it.
They're gonna at
once.
least try it. It's
That's
like
why you
cigarettes.
have to teach them
Yeah,
what the correct way of doing it is.
right. Trust me.
So
It's like
daddy's just gonna have his son.
No, it's like
smoke is something.
no, it's
I know
like when you
parents
get
that
older
actually
and you
do
sit down
that.
and you
The
have
same
one with
way
your
you
parents.
share a beer
You
with
would
your
have thought
child,
you would have sat
you
down
share
and had a
a
smoke
blunt,
with your parents, and it's like,
it's easier
Or you
for
tell
some
them to
people
interview your dealer.
to,
yeah,
hey, I'm gonna introduce you to this world.
yeah.
Sit down with me, son. Let me introduce you to this. Same way you sit down with your kid and be like, yo, hey, have a drink, have a shot with your father.
Yes.
Some people actually live like that. Hey,
Yes.
you know what? You're gonna go out there and experience. I'd rather your first experience be with me, where I can watch over you.
I agree.
And you see how you like it.
I agree.
That's just how some
But
people.
not only just watching
I
over, you
agree.
also have to at least explain. Like, you know, if you have a whole thing of Johnny Walker, you're not gonna just be fine the next day.
I mean, not trying to say to
I'm gonna let
introduce
them
our
experience
children to stuff like this, but he got a good point. You rather explain to them the down and outs of everything,
Yeah.
you know, instead of having the streets and the world teach them. Because then now you're gonna look at them, what did I do wrong?
Like, you can drink, but don't drink and drive. Or
Yeah,
don't,
you know.
or don't go too crazy, or don't.
But everybody, you're gonna if you don't